Hi, my name is Ashlee, and I've made $375,000 since my first Maria course in March of 2025. Coming to the business as a musician, I understand that practice is a lifelong endeavor. It's not negotiable. You don't eventually reach perfection. You don't ever reach a goal and then stop. And I think of business as the same way. Content creation is the billboard. I need to find a business owner who's also a single mom. I just need to unlock that. Okay, she's done it. And I could see to believe that that was possible for me too.
You've done so well with ads that you were featured in the second round of Rose's ads course. So we did an ads 2.0. Tell me a little bit about that.
Once I finally was able to find the offer that converted well with ads, that's where everything took off. I can say definitively, without the numbers right here in front of me, every course I've bought of yours, I have made the money back 10 times very quickly. As an instructor and a teacher of piano, I've never met someone that can't do it. And I feel like you have a similar sentiment with your students. It's possible for anyone. Hi, my name is Ashlee, and I've made $375,000 since my first Maria course in March of 2025.
Amazing. Okay, guys. So before we get started, Ashlee, I'm so excited to dive into your story. I'm going to say this disclaimer here because my lawyers are making me say it. Results are not typical and depend on individual effort. These students, Ashlee, took consistent action and their outcomes are not guaranteed for everyone. Basically, what you put in is what you get out. And Ashlee, I'm so excited to talk about yours. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Remind me again, I know you're from out of town. Where did you come? Where are you from?
From Portland, Oregon.
How was the flight?
It was great.
Was it easy? I
mean,
that's
super easy, super quick, direct.
It was 2 hours or something, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. See, can you tell I've been doing too much work traveling? Oh my gosh. So you made a lot of money, right? Over $300,000 in, what is that? Less than a year. Less than a year if it was March. What's that been like for you?
So exciting.
Yeah.
So exciting. The business has catapulted in ways that I have always been visualizing, but now it's happening.
Was there a breakthrough month that it kind of went whoa, this is at the next level, or has it been very gradually growing?
It was very gradual from March until about September or October of 2025. And when I finally figured out ads, that is when it really changed.
And you were actually, because I was looking over our notes, you've done so well with ads that you were featured in the second round of Rose's ads course. So we did an ads 2.0. Tell me a little bit about that. What was the ads that you were running? I want the backstory for those who haven't taken the ads course yet.
Yes.
They will. By the end of this case study, they're going to be okay, I need the ad course. But until then.
Yeah. So I had dabbled with ads in the past. I had taken a few different courses and tried to learn from a few different coaches about ads. And I don't think I ever really had the right offer dialed in. And so I think there was a lot of work happening from March until when I figured out ads, refining the offers, getting the upsells, all of that. But once I finally was able to find the offer that converted well with ads, that's where everything took off. And it actually wasn't the 50 for 50.
Okay,
So I started with that one and it was doing well in that it was always breaking even, but the offer was $50 and the daily budget was $50. So I was always hitting one return on ad spend.
So I was probably exactly one. Yeah. Yes. What's the offer that's doing so well with ads now?
It's a course called Read Music 10 Times Faster.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
And what's the price point?
It's $97.
And you, so interesting. So you're running ads to a $97 offer, doing really well with that. Interesting. What's your return on ad spend?
2.
Wow,
yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay, how much are you spending per day on ads?
So right now I'm at about $950. Yes.
So you're so close to
so close.
Oh my
and
gosh.
I had scaled up to 2,000 and then in January things got a little wonky.
Yep.
And so now I'm kind of scaling back up.
Yeah, and I think it's really good that you touched on that because I think that so many students, they think it's 0 to 100 with ads, right? I think one of the because people don't run ads enough. That's fundamentally, we think everyone should be running ads. And we've said that for years. But one of the things that keeps people from running ads is this fear that I have to go from 0 to thousands of dollars a day, but you scaled up very slowly and very profitably. Can you talk about that? What was that like for you?
Absolutely. Yes, it was scary because I think in the course, I don't remember if it's you or Rose, but someone says you just have to adopt the identity of a business owner that runs ads. And you just have to go all in and you're not turning back. This is the point where you go all in. And that really resonated with me. And then the other thing was understanding that I was in control. It's not I'm putting my credit card in and then they're charging me a random amount every day.
No, it was my fear too though, right? It was I'm going to wake up tomorrow and $30,000 is going to be charged to my card.
Right.
We're in control.
We're in control, but it's so gradual. And throughout the process of trying to figure out, once I was a person that ran ads, how do I scale and what scaling method works for me? It became even more gradual than I wanted it to be. And so it felt safe. It felt fine.
That's exactly what I tell people is it's going to get to the point where you wish it could scale faster. You're frustrated it's not scaling faster. And you have all these ideas and all these you do the math in your head. If I could, if you're at 2 ROAS, right, that means you're spending about $1,000 a day and you're making about $2,000 a day for those at home who haven't taken the course yet. And so when you're turning $1 essentially into $2, you want to do that as fast as you can. And you're frustrated about it. You're like, it's taking longer to scale than I wish it would. Was there ever a point where it wasn't working at first and you felt like you were going to quit or throw in the towel? Or did you see sales right away from the ads? What was that like for you? Because people have different experiences.
Yeah, I did get my first sale from my first ad within the first day.
Okay.
And so that built my confidence a lot because I at least broke even that first day. And when I was running ads to my first offer that I tried with ads, which was the 50 piano lessons for $50, obviously modeled after 24 for 24.
We were just impressed. We're like, wow, we're only doing 24 courses for $24. Actually, we were doing 50. We're like, we need to double our courses.
I did get a little frustrated because I was always breaking even, but it's work. I'm filming content, I'm creating new ads, testing new creatives constantly. And it felt like it was never fully paying off. But I also could recognize that I was learning, right? And I don't think you can skip over that process.
I don't think at all. I think I'm curious, did you have order bumps and upsells in that?
I did.
Okay. And you played with that?
I did. And the order bump always converted at about 30 to 40%.
Okay.
So it wasn't
not bad.
It's not bad.
Not as good. 60 to 70 is really good for your order. Yeah. Do you have order bumps on your $97 one now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What does that funnel look like?
So that funnel, there's an order bump and then there are 5 upsells.
Oh, nice.
And the order bump converts at 60 to 70%.
Okay, that's really
so
good.
That's just
that's what we like
so
to see.
helpful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No kidding for your return on ad spend.
Yes.
Okay. So, and that's, you mentioned in your notes here that you're a single mom. It's very your business is very hands off. Can you talk to that? Because I obviously talk so much about, time freedom and not having to because I think a lot of times people think, either I can have time or I can have money, but I can't have both, right?
Yes.
I think that's and I get it, right? A lot of people do trade time for money, but I think there's understandably a lot of cynicism and skepticism around this concept that you really can have a hands-off business. You said you work about 10 hours a week with a tiny little, you said 1.5 team members. It's really, I get that. Probably a part-time, it's very hands-off. We're both single moms. I'd love for you to share what your day-to-day looks like as a business owner, really help show people that, hey, there's people out here who aren't even in the business, marketing, social media industries. You're a piano teacher, essentially, right? And you're doing something like this, making fabulous, $300,000 plus in less than a year. Talk a little bit about what this actually looks like in the day-to-day.
Sure. Yeah. So as a single mom, I front load my business because my daughter is with her dad for 2 days a week.
Okay.
And so she'll go to school and then she goes to his house. And those are the days where I'm pulling 10-hour days.
This is speaking my language.
And I'm packing. The other thing that I'm doing though, that has been very helpful in keeping me honest as a business owner is getting really clear on the non-negotiables. Content is filmed when she is gone. And I know that I have that time and that is the number one priority.
Yep.
And so really getting clear on what is important, what needs to happen when. And then Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays, I work when I can. And it's an hour a day-ish. It's not very much.
Right?
Exactly.
I've really tried to, because for me, she goes to her dad's on Tuesdays and then some Fridays. So kind of similar. It's not two. I wish the two together.
Yes.
Pros and cons though, right? Because topic for another day. But I'm all right, Tuesdays are my day, exactly like you said, to do content. Fridays, if I'm lucky, I also get my Fridays. And what I've been trying to do is take that Wednesdays and Thursdays and then the Saturday, Sunday, Mondays, fully off as much as I can and be unplugged. So I hear you that you have to get intentional with that time. I wish more people understood how important it is to prioritize content creation.
Yeah.
How did you understand that was the most important thing to do? What clicked? When did that click? How did that click? Because I wish more people knew that.
Yeah. I mean, so for me, coming to the business as a musician, I understand that practice is a lifelong endeavor. It's not negotiable. You don't eventually reach perfection. You don't ever reach a goal and then stop. And I think of businesses the same way. Content creation is the billboard, right? And we're so lucky to live in a day and age where we don't have to pay for that billboard. I mean, you can with ads, right? And you should, but you don't have to.
Yeah.
You can literally put up billboards as often as you want, whenever you want, and people stumble upon them. And I think there is something really special about that. And it's how people find me. So it's the number one thing. And there's that consistency. I think I know that from practice, and being consistent, I think, is in what I see is the number one difference between like if you get there or if you don't get there. Is that consistency. Yeah.
Could not have said it better. I love the analogy of billboards. I think about this so often, like if you think about like, you know, Madison Avenue back in the 30s and 40s and 50s when it was just a bunch of guys running these expensive mass market commercials that were extremely expensive, required a lot of capital, a lot of connections, right? Big businesses could run these mass market, you know, commercials to consumers. And that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
And now we get to run ads that we get to dial in and target very specifically. First of all, as women, we can do that, right? Like we couldn't have done that back in the day. My grandma was born in a time where you couldn't even get a credit card unless it was signed by like a husband or a father or a brother, right? Like that's crazy. Like we have such an opportunity just as women, but even just as people, regular, average, everyday people, we get to show up, dial in who we're trying to target. And like you said, if you're running ads, you control your budget. And so I tell my students, like, start with $5 a day, use that $5 to make that first sale. It's exactly what you did, right? And then you keep building up and scaling up. And you're right, like it is such an opportunity. And I think that people focus on the hard. It can be hard to build the consistency muscle. It's very important. I completely agree with you. But I think they're missing the opportunities because they're so focused on the hard. Like my business is completely changed. My life is completely changed as a single mama because I have a phone, very cracked iPhone, I might add. I keep breaking my iPhone, so my iPhone's very cracked. And I get to just sit here and make content and film my face and my lips moving, and we literally get to make money from that. So I think that's incredible. How did you find me, out of curiosity?
I actually Googled, so I was going through, I'm a big manifester.
Okay.
And so I was looking for expanders specifically. I was like, I need to find a business owner who's also a single mom. Like I just need to unlock that. And so I was Googling like, who are influencers and business owners that like are single moms? And I came across a YouTube video that you had done, I don't know when, at some point where you were kind of sharing your story.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. That was like right after I was very recently single. I know exactly what YouTube video you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's how you found me.
That's how I found you. And then then I went down the rabbit hole, right? Like then I was like Instagram, everything, you know. Yeah. And I was like, okay, she's done it. And like I could see to believe that was possible for me too. Yeah.
And you went YouTube video to Instagram. And then you bought a course.
Took courses.
Okay.
And the first course I ever bought from you was just passive income. I was already using ManyChat and stuff, but I was like, I'm sure there's something in here I don't know. And so that one, and then the upsells course was like the big unlock. Yeah.
We're thinking about, because that upsells course is like very, like what we know about upsells now versus what we knew when we filmed that course 3 years ago. We think we were just talking about this with my product development team. We should build out like a massive upsell course with all the different, because there's the whole order bump thing that we've been doing, right? Like there's a lot of new stuff we've been doing with upsells. So we're thinking about building out like a core course on upsells. And I think it's so funny that like everybody here today, we've all talked about upsells. Like it's been and it's a lot of our customers are like that, because for those of you who don't know, basically what an upsell is where you have a customer. It's kind of like when you go to McDonald's and they say, you get a burger? And they're like, would you like fries and a Coke with that? The fries and the Coke are the upsell. It's the thing that takes, you literally upsell the order, like it adds to the order. And it takes an order, like in our case, when we have a really good upsell funnel, it'll take a $24 order and turn it into a $405 order. So that same customer that you've already acquired, instead of paying you just $24, is paying you $400. So you've done that in your business, right? Where you have a customer, they come in and then they buy your order bump and then they buy some of your 5 upsells. And that's how you're able to have a 2x return on your ad spend.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow. What's been the most fulfilling part of this journey?
The most fulfilling part has definitely been setting the goals and reaching them, and not to sound making money. Not to sound shallow, but like making money. Like it's so exciting. In my industry of, I came from someone that worked in academia and taught piano lessons out of my house. And there's like this notorious stereotype of like musicians should never make money. Musicians don't make money. And so to be able to like make really good money and see, I don't do it for the look on people's faces, but the surprise on people's face when they're like, wait, you're doing what? Because the question that I always get asked is like, oh, you're a musician, but like, how do you make, like, what's your job?
Yeah.
You know? And so to be able to like merge those two and actually make really good money doing what I love I feel so incredibly lucky. Like there's nothing like it.
Well, I always say, I think good people should make good money and then go do good things with it. Yeah. Which, are you investing the money? What are you doing with it?
Oh yes, investing in my daughter's future. Yeah. And then also, I have I also have an Airbnb, and I'm like investing in real estate and kind of diversifying in all the ways.
That's smart. This is good. Yeah. I'm like, I got to think about my retirement, especially like, cause you're single mom, I'm a single mom. Like it's up to us, baby. Like we got to be in charge of it. Yeah, exactly. Do you have a 529 for your daughter?
Yes.
Okay. That's good. So yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay. So what would you tell someone who is watching, maybe they've watched a couple of these case studies, people tend to binge them, and they came across yours and like, oh, I'm in a creative industry, or I'm in an industry where it's typically, people don't typically make money. You have like the starving artist stereotype, the starving musician. We had a student on here, she was in genealogy, and I didn't even know this, but apparently like genealogy is like an industry that you can't make money, but she paid off her house with with my courses. So I'm kind of curious, what would you tell someone who is in an industry like yours or similar, and they're kind of on the fence about diving in, taking one of my courses, like stepping into the spider web, Maria's world, going down the rabbit hole, like you said. What advice would you give them?
Don't wait.
Would you tell them, yeah,
don't
just
wait,
go
like
for
just
it?
do it. Just do it. I think, there's this quote about YouTube, because my main platform was YouTube when I first started. The best time to start a YouTube channel was back in 2010, but the second best time is today.
Yeah.
And I think with your courses, there's so much also for such a little risk, right? Your courses are low ticket. And I know for someone who's maybe never invested in themselves, it still can feel like a big jump, but it is worth it. I can say definitively, without the numbers right here in front of me, every course I've bought of yours, I have made the money back 10 times, at least, like very quickly.
I was gonna say that would mean you made $270, not $375,000.
Exactly. Yeah. But it's like, and I can instantly see them. And I, as the business owner, have to decide like which ones I'm implementing. Like I got your stories course.
Yeah.
Instantly on stories, started making tons of, and then was like, but I don't have the bandwidth for stories right now. I got to focus on ads, But just do it. There's no better time.
How do you prioritize your strategy? I think what you just said there was really important. Like there's a lot of different strategies we can try in business, and it's important to identify the ones that are going to work for us. How do you know like this is the one that's going to make me money? Because Marie teaches a lot of good strategies, but like this one's my strategy, how do you know?
So I have a personal boundary for myself that I use in my business, which I'm not allowed to implement something new unless I can commit to it for a full month.
Love it.
And I'm not allowed to make a choice about whether it works or not until after that month.
Love it.
Yes. And so that keeps the emotion out of it.
Yeah.
And so if I'm going to do anything, it's going to be for a minimum of a month. So automatically, most things are a no.
Yeah.
Because I don't have the bandwidth for most new things. But like with ads, when I started ads, I was like, this is going to become it's a lot of hours that I'm going to be spending on this. So I really have to like prioritize that, make the time to make it happen, and make it work.
I love that. So smart. We have something very similar. For us, it's 90 days, but we have like, it's like steering the Titanic, right? Like everything just takes a little longer, but it's very similar. And I think that's so important because the highs and lows you can experience over a 30-day period. Oh my gosh, like if it's a new strategy, I'm not seeing anything like right away at all. And I think a lot of people might even try things for like 7 days in a row and then experience very typical, and then quit. And it sounds like you've created a boundary for yourself, a rule for yourself, a structure for yourself that's been really effective.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So last question, everyone has a why. The reason that we wake up and do this, a reason we stick through the tough moments, a reason we do things out of our comfort zone. What is your why in all of this?
My why is my daughter, and also other women. Yeah. Also I think to your point, when good people make good money and do good things with it, like we need that in the world. We need that in the world.
We need more good people in power.
We really do. And so anytime I can help empower someone in any small way to do that, or to believe it's possible for them, because I really, as an instructor and a teacher of piano, I've never met someone that can't do it. And I feel like you have a similar sentiment with your students. Like it's possible for anyone.
Couldn't have said it better. Yeah, I think it's so fulfilling to teach and to see, for you see the ripple effect of your work. And that probably keeps you in the game longer too. I know that for me it does. Yes. But fundamentally, it's like you said, it's just good to do something that we love and get paid well for it. Like that's what keeps us in the game. And that's good. That's a good thing. We should be comfortable with that. So thank you so much for sharing your story. I appreciate that. To all of you guys who are listening, you can check Ashlee's stuff out down in the description below. Take the leap. I think that was such good advice. I think the 30 days sticking to something is also really good advice. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.